Hello everyone, it's Fluffy, and I'm back with another video. This time, we're going over... It's another stall video. Okay, I'm not gonna, try to say, oh, this time I'm doing something different. It's stall. You know I'm doing stall. So first, some of you said that you would like the colors of my opponent to be different so that it's easier to differentiate between my units and their units. So from now on, I'm going to take away their color like an evil person and change it into something they're not. Someone else also mentioned they could change the tile information, which is usually at the bottom left, and my character hides it. They said I could move it to the other side, so I'm going to see where I can do this. I'm going to move it top left, so now it appears at the top left, as you can see, and I won't be covering it anymore. This way, you could see how much HP like labs or other buildings have, which would come quite in handy for this video. So anyway, this game we're playing on It That Betrays Tier 3. I picked Andy because I like the stall of Andy. Andy isn't too much stall, I would say, but he does benefit from having more expensive units, which does mean you could stall a little bit to get a little bit more money before you start fighting. And my opponent picked Kindle because it's tier 3, I should just expect a Kindle at this point. Kindle is just so oftenly picked in tier 3. Go for the neutral base, because neutral base is always something I would go for. Kindle goes for this turn 1 property capture, which is also a 3-chain, a potential 3-chain. As for me, I send my my second infantry from this base to capture this capture chain. Instead of the back capture chain, which I will always get regardless, I want the forward one, because if I don't get these right away, they can very easily become contested, and I don't want that. Kindle goes for the back cap. I go for this capture, which is very nice for me. And instead of going for the 3-chain, I decide to have this infantry probably go forward, either for this property or these two properties, and my next infantry can go for this chain. And the main reason is, some properties are just really hard to flip, and it's better I go for them now. Kindle does something similar, going for sending the next infantry for this chain and the first infantry going for this property. I finish capturing my forward property, and I could chain backwards, which is pretty safe. And what I'm trying to do is, I'm trying not to send too many infantry down. Like, with my bottom base, I don't want to send too many infantry up, because this neutral base otherwise doesn't have too many things to capture. So I send one infantry to go for this city, because this neutral base is just pretty delayed. But other than that, no more infantry is going up to my 2-base side. I prefer it fighting down here, where I want to apply some pressure to this base. Kindle builds the first tank, and I decide I was about to say I also built my first tank, but I guess I built an artillery instead. Kindle interrupts this property, which is very sad because it's really hard to flip these properties once captured, and I was not in a position to interrupt Kindle's property. But the bright side is I am still Andy. So as long as I don't lose this infantry, it's pretty much I will heal it back up, which is very nice. I place my artillery out of range of the tank, but still covering my comm tower. If Kindle wants to sack infantry, I'm happy about it, because that means less units for them, and more units for me, because I like unit count. And I for sure build a tank this turn. I have to. I have the money to build double artillery infantry. No, that's crazy for me. Kindle manages to get these contested properties. And tank walls off this infantry, which... Okay. Alright, I should... I'm waiting for me to capture the comm tower before I do anything. Okay. Artillery walling off this area. The only place this tank can attack this wall without being shot by artillery is from this tile. And I guess this tile now, because I moved my infantry here. It's fine. I built 2 more tanks. And because of the placement of my infantry, Kindle cannot 2-hit my tank on a city. But basically, whenever there's 2 tanks aiming down 1 tank on a city, it's generally okay to do so if they don't have another tank nearby, because even though I am on a defensive property, 2 tanks will still beat 1 tank. Even if I am Kindle, I would still advise attacking a Kindle tank on a city if you know for certain that it's 2 tanks to 1 and they otherwise can't fight back with another reinforcing tank. Kindle built an artillery of their own, and a tank is committed just to save this cap. I mean, I could go in anyway. I do have the units. But here, there's another artillery here. Which means... is it possible that my tank goes in for this strike? And I'll be fine with it because I'm Andy. Kindle strikes me back, but I'll just run away and heal. And I deny this capture, which is very hard to flip. Well, I go for it. And I send my infantry to wall off this area. These mountains make it so that this tank can't reinforce at all. So my tank is just not going to die. Kindle can cover it by moving this artillery down here and then having tank covered sit on the city. But otherwise, I would do the 2 tanks against 1 tank and win. Otherwise, I would do the 2 tanks against 1 tank strategy. Because I am Andy, I can heal my tanks back up anyway. So here, we see the Kindle tank fire from the city. And I live. Hahaha. I move my tank back. I interrupted this capture. It's going to deny Kindle's property for probably delayed it for about 2 or 3 turns. I think it's worth it. I am Andy, so I really just lost 4 HP on the tank, which is definitely worth those income from the city. Plus, it's an infantry kill, so I reduced the unit count just a little bit. I believe this is supposed to be preparing for a shift up north, to the top. I think I'm front shifting to the top with this move. That also that's also a reason why the copter is here. Maybe I'm just thinking I have so much infantry I can start making pushes for this city. Alright, Kindle begins capturing this city again. Artillery blocks it. Kindle goes for this strike. I am perfectly fine with it. I did not see this artillery. I was blind. But this is live. I'll just say this is a live game. I can make mistakes. I have excuses. And for this, I'm Andy. What else can I say to justify this? Kindle builds a copter of their own. I should win copter on copter fights because copters don't one-shot copters unless this one's above a property. So my copters should survive. Ooh, I got the 30% roll. Lucky. Protect it with my artillery, protect artillery with artillery, and then bring a copter nearby because why not? I save my tank. Keep it alive. And now we have this advanced walls. Now I just want to build a critical mass of units, maybe tech up a little, because teching up is always good for Andy. So building some walls, just trying not to encourage a fight now, just build more units. Kindle goes for this, doesn't get the 30% roll, but moves artillery closer. Anti-air is built, it makes sense, I have a copter. And I should also build an anti-air of my own, especially since I now see 2 copters. I see Kindle pushing forward over here. And well, this is a free hit, I'm gonna take it. This is pretty much a free shot. If infantry comes to fire at my artillery, I'm Andy, I would just heal up the artillery. Andy moments are fun, so I pretty much got a bunch of kills here, lots of infantry kills, and I didn't even lose an infantry, at least I don't think I did. My infantry here survived, my infantry from this tile retreated, so I don't think I lost a single infantry here, but I got at least 2 Kindle infantry kills, and injured some more. I stopped healing my tank because I want my super to heal it. And I don't actually have to hold this ground. My artillery here locks the comm tower, so I could just run away with these units. I double up on my artillery here with my tank to try to scare away the anti-air. And because of my artillery placement, the only place that Kindle tanks can attack freely is on this tile, which isn't really desirable because it can be trapped by moving my infantry in, and also because my tank can also attack it with my base reinforcements. I built an anti-air from my middle base. It can shift down if I need to, or shift up if I need to. A bunch of advanced walls. The copter moves up, anti-air goes up, that's how it works. And this is when I saw an opportunity. When you're doing walls, one thing you have to pay attention to is where your weakest point of the wall is. On this area, well, not just this area, but in general, your weakest points are at the corners where it can be attacked from 2 directions. So 2 units could easily clear this part of my wall and then continue attacking the rest of my wall. And for Kindle's case, this infantry is the weakest part of the wall because I can attack it from 2 directions. And so I see a breakthrough and I go for it. My infantry gets 2 kills, my tank gets a strike, I choose not to attack because I don't want Kindle to wall break me here, and I just double up my artillery placements. I'm also expecting a Kindle normal power, so I don't sit on properties. I begin to shift my copter down, and while my artillery's here, I might as well fire at the pipe seam just a little bit, because I do want to crack it open. Having a base being able to directly supply units up here would be nice to help take this city. And I otherwise just retreat because my artillery's blocking my forwardmost cities. I don't want to push too far into here. And a second anti-air to deal with the second copter. So here we go, Kindle fires the artillery. Notice how I'm attacked, my injured infantry are in front. I attacked in such a way that these units are going to die anyway, so I might as well have my full HP infantry in the backer lines, where I know Kindle will not be able to wall break it unless this 2 HP artillery fires and then a tank goes in. Either way, I am Andy, so I believe my walls are strong. And then this breakthrough happened. And I was very sad. Not too sad, but still sad. I am Andy, so it's not as devastating as it could have been. And it also means this tank cannot get struck from 2 directions. So I'm happy about that. It doesn't matter what Ken will do up here, because this is really just deterring me from taking this city, and if Kindle's willing to invest this much for that, I'm perfectly fine with it. The main fight will be down here, where my properties are actually being threatened. So, I fire at this pipe seam again, definitely want to break through, and my tank finishes it. So I now have direct reinforcements up here. Kindle will not take this lab. I bring my anti-air to this tile. It can only be attacked from this road tile, which means my anti-air will survive no matter what Kindle does up here. I am Andy, I will just heal it back up. I fire with my artillery. 3 HP artillery moves back. Fire with this tank. Infantry go! Gets the kill. My anti-air moves down. My copter moves down, making sure only 1 copter can strike it, and not from a property. Oh, never mind. I mean, Kindle? A tank's not going to clear an infantry on a road. You need to have max firepower with a comm tower to have that chance. So this copter is perfectly safe from being one-shot. And for my anti-air, I am Andy. I will be fine. Just sticking with my advanced walls here. Kindle, of course, not attacking into me because why would they? It makes no sense. That would be a pretty big overextension. Copter goes in. My anti-air could reach it if it weren't for this infantry in the way, which means I either need a super to get that speed in, or I clear these 3 tiles to reach the copter. So this copter hit was pretty free. I begin to shift my anti-air down just a little bit because there's not much copters up here, and I'm not really attacking into this area. I also pull back a little because I really don't need to lock this city, it's not even my city. And I need to move my wall back. Like I said, the weakest point of your wall is the corners where it can be attacked from 2 directions. So, I attack here. That is the weakest point of the wall. I artillery this shot, and then clear this infantry. I am Andy, so even if Kindle attacks into me, my wall here is perfectly fine. The only exception would possibly be if a copter got over the mountains and attacked from this side, but there is no copter that can attack over the mountains, so my wall, my shield, is impenetrable. Unless Kindle uses power and maybe gets super lucky. I'm not sure about the damage calc, but I don't think it's possible to Urban Blight then attack it. Alright, so in my turn again, copter shifts down. Good thing I shifted my anti-air down just a little bit. It doesn't matter what Kindle does up here, but the artillery is now forcing me to get off this property, which means my wall is a little weaker. Not that it's very strong to begin with, this is a property which Kindle can easily bust through with a normal power. Haha, you better run. There's no way you can break this wall. Not because I'm Andy, but I can break your walls. I see a wall break opportunity, so I go in, get the artillery, boom, and now I'm just bracing for a normal power, or a super, because Kindle does have a super potential. And because of that, and because of my weakening walls, I moved back a little bit and built a Neo-Tank. Neo-Tank, because of this pipe seam is now broken, I can easily reinforce the top area, or the bottom, or these two properties if I want to. Just trying to make sure my tanks can't die. If my infantry dies, so be it. But I can't lose my vehicles. Artillery fires, then tank should clear this tank. Makes sense. And I believe in a high society is here. Yes, this is a Kindle high society. This tank is expected to die. Copter tank clears this tank, and my artillery dies because it was on a road. But it's fine. It is fine, and the reason why it's fine is because I'm Andy. And also, I don't agree with this retreat over here. I think the pressure should have been... I think Kindle should have just held over here and just kept applying pressure. And the reason is, none of these infantry are in position to capture my properties, which means all of my vehicles down here can start front shifting. I use my hyper upgrade. I have the power, which means the time to attack is now. I fire off my artillery, anti-air goes in, clears this copter, copter goes in, strikes the tank. My copter acts as a very nice wall because Kindle cannot one-shot it since there's no power for Kindle after this turn. So, pew, fire with the tank. And get this kill. Might as well start capturing it just to be extra annoying and just flood my infantry into the region. And then I proceed to send my units downwards. Neo-Tank sitting on this property just to be very intimidating while I send my tanks downward. So the artillery could chase off my Neo-Tanks, but it buys me a little bit of time before the infantry can start capturing my properties. And I built more anti-airs in this region, because anti-airs are great. And I base kicked. Artillery fires at this tank. Copter chooses... Oh, alright, that makes sense. Another copter strikes this tank. Kindle's focusing on killing my units, but my units here should survive. And if Kindle's fighting me over here, I am perfectly fine with that. Unfortunately, this wall does mean that I will have a hard time breaking through. But the fact that I have a 2 HP infantry here means that I can sack my 2 HP infantry, then have 2 full health infantry wall break this property. And I'm pretty sure that's a guaranteed wall break, which would allow more of my vehicles to strike here. But that does mean my top is a little weak, but I'm fine with it, because none of the artilleries are kicking my Neo-Tank off the property, which means I can stay here just a little bit longer. My other property is still walled by my artillery. Well, it's still locked by my artillery. I fire my artillery again, anti-air to copter to tanks. I'm targeting the tanks with my copters, because if all the tanks are dead, the tanks cannot kill my anti-air, and my anti-air will be able to just fight the copters uncontested. Plus I'm Andy, so my anti-air can just heal up. Killing off the tanks. Get rid of the artillery here. Looks like I did not go for this wall break. And I just went for a bunch of kills. I guess... Well, I'm still capturing this property. I guess this is the main bonus of having so much infantry in the area. And it might force a Kindle power just to save this property. Which is good for me, because if I force Kindle to waste their powers, that just means less offensive capabilities against me. Due to these mountains, I can't get 2 hits from this tile. Like, there's nothing that can sit on this mountain to attack me. So this is a very nice wall. Like I said, the weakest part of your wall is the corners where you can get hit from 2 directions. But there is no corner here because I can only be hit from 1 direction. Admittedly, this property does make it possible to wall break here, but I'm fine with that, because I built a mech. I thought I moved my Neo-Tank back, but I guess I didn't. I'm sure it's fine. Copter goes in, medium tank interrupts the capture. Not like the medium tank had anything else to fire, if I'm being honest, but still. Kindle didn't use the power because of this medium tank's ability to interrupt this capture. But the tech-up game is now underway, which would be good for me because I'm Andy. And as Andy, I like to wall with big units. Anti-air goes up, kills this copter. Anti-air kills this copter. No more copters for you. No fear because I'm Andy. And because there's no copters anymore, my copter is now officially uncontested. And I just start mass capping. Wall break here, strike this artillery. Alright, now my Neo-Tank runs because there's no way Kindle moved all these infantry nearby and didn't expect to start capturing some of my properties. But my mech span means it would be pretty costly to attack me, while also no infantry nearby can actually strike my mech just yet. So I'm happy about this. My Neo-Tank should also be able to do something against the medium tanks. Here's the Urban Blight. We don't get a high society, only an Urban Blight. Artillery interrupts this capture. Urban Blight also interrupts this capture. Artillery one-shots my artillery, but I'm fine with that. Medium tanks manages to strike my artillery here, and the other medium tank interrupts the capture. Kindle begins attacking into me, capturing both of these properties. But I'm fine with that, because The time for walling has once again passed. Kindle has moved in. That means it's time to go on the offense. Anti-air kills this infantry. My tank strikes the artillery, and I clear it because I can. I then begin striking up here, clearing these tiles. Infantry here just to be annoying and block the anti-air from doing stuff. I clear this tile, interrupt the capture, interrupt this capture, and this sack has to be because I want my superpower. Yeah, here's the hyper upgrade. I heal pretty much all the damage I have taken, except for the damage I took on this tank, but that's fine. Copter goes in, tank goes in, clears this tile, and now my amazing Neo tank strikes the medium tank. Pew! I start capturing a bunch of properties. This medium tank is pretty sad now because it's kind of cut off from the combat. And build a mega tank because I'm Andy. My mega tanks are pretty strong and pretty durable. Of course, that I would possibly face another Kindle Urban Blight, but that's fine, because I will get more back healing my units than whatever damage I take from Urban Blight. Kindle breaks through onto this property, gets another shot with it. My walls are pretty broken up here, but it's fine, because I'm now planning to go on a counter-offensive now that I have my Mega Tank. The counter-offensive looks very nice. Here's the Urban Blight, injures my Mega Tank. My anti-air still survives. So this copter is very sad. And another medium tank is built. Alright, I clear this artillery once and for all. Finish this capture. I'm very happy for equalizing the income. My Neo tank goes for a strike. And this is where I made a little bit of a mistake. And that is, well, for one, this attack is definitely bad. But the next mistake is I had nothing to block this property. So I pretty much just allowed Kindle to strike me from a property. I could have struck from this road tile, which would be a little more defended considering this property is blocked off. But it's too late. And as for the top front, I fire upon this tank, move my infantry back to heal, anti-air clears the tile, tank moves forward, clears this tank, mega tank starts moving in, infantry clears this infantry, tank kills tank, and I decide to let this property go, and the main reason why is I have an infantry nearby. I am just going to recapture it as soon as Kindle steps away. And this is the part where fatigue is starting to get to me, I believe, because I should have sent one infantry to start capturing this property, but I didn't move this infantry at all. I mean, I can understand my infantry wanting to wall for this property, but this infantry 100% has to start going down and capturing this. Anti-air interrupts this capture, infantry clears it out for the rest of it, lose my medium tank because of this moment. My Neo tank. And I don't even get this property, which is very sad. But I'm fine. Artillery fires, but there's otherwise no tank support, so... Alright, one tank support. But otherwise, I am perfectly fine with losing losing two tanks, because I will get much more. I kill this tank, I kill this infantry. My tank starts moving in, taking a bunch of shots. clear this infantry, injure this infantry. I'm basically trying to make it hard for Kindle to recapture these properties. I finally sent an infantry preparing to capture this. And I built an APC to resupply the mega tank in case it runs out of ammo, because I don't really want to sit on properties to resupply my mega tank, not against Kindle. But I can repair with my power and resupply with my APC, so my mega tank doesn't have to sit on the property, which is nice. I also start capturing this property, and I lock down the airport. No more air units for Kindle. Kindle kills this infantry, clearly seeing what it was going for, saves the capture, clears this anti-air, and otherwise clear the rest of my infantry. I don't think I can save this property, but that's fine because I have a really strong counter-offensive at the top. Kindle clears this infantry to save the property. I'm fine with that. That's another vehicle I can just kill. Pew! Pew! Fire! Kill as much as I can. Recapture this property. APC drops more infantry off into the front line. Clear this artillery on a property because I don't want to deal with the property bonus damage. And I have a bunch of 5 HP infantry, and I also have my super, which I can use for next turn. So I'm perfectly happy with the situation right now. Kindle doesn't have a lot of infantry at the bottom, and I have a lot of capture potential at the top. Plus my anti-air might still do something to this base while it's here. It has 20 fuel left, but 20 fuel left. An APC is built here to deliver more infantry to the front lines, but I'm pretty sure my base would be active by then. Kindle fires on my infantry of all things, probably because my tank would survive, and I also have my super. A Neo tank is built. And I thought I have my super, but my infantry can't exactly start capturing stuff this turn. I clear off this artillery, I finish this capture, which I retake my city. Kindle will probably retake this city, but I'm fine with that. I clear this anti-air, start capping here, fire here, and this is a very sad moment where I get reduced to 4 HP. I resupply my mega tank. I clear off this artillery, but my 5 HP infantry here can still heal up and start capturing next turn when I use my super. Built an anti-air to deal with this copter. If medium tank does strike my anti-air, I'm fine with that, because then that means I could just kill the medium tank. And this is I noticed a little something, but a little too late. My mega tank fires, copter goes in, pretty much sacking itself. A high society activated, and wait a minute, wait, no, my mega tank. And the artillery also clears 2 of my vehicles. So that was a pretty devastating high society, but it's not over yet. And the reason being is because I still have my super, and I still have a bunch of infantry around to start capturing stuff. I activate my super, my copter should win the copter war because of that. Clear off more infantry, save my city after all. Artillery sits over here. I'm Andy, I'm fine with this. I begin capturing this property up here. Tank infantry walls. Because Kindle used a super, there is no urban light, so these two properties are 100% mine. Drop my mech off at the bottom on this mountain, getting ready to capture one of these two. Build another medium tank. They are bumping each other with their guns. And I didn't move this anti-air. Well, not that I have to. If Kindle sends a tank to attack it, then that's a vehicle over here and not up there. My cities are getting captured here, but that's fine. Because, pew, I get to fire here. Copter strikes, medium tank can interrupt. Medium tank strikes this Kindle medium tank. I begin capping because why not? I fire because why not? I'm Andy. This medium tank would very much like to interrupt my capture anyway. And otherwise I just prepare to retreat, injuring this tank from injuring this infantry with my tank because Kindle doesn't have a lot of infantry up here. And it's also day 25, which means it's almost a day limit. I triple infantry because I want to defend my properties. And honestly, light vehicles would not defend against a Neo tank. What I need is a second mega tank. I lose my anti-air, which is very sad, but I get charged for it. And Kindle starts building copters right away now that the anti-air is gone. But I'm also fine with that because I have copters already on the field, and I'm Andy. My infantry survives. The city is mine. Or soon will be. Medium tank strikes this. Artillery strikes this. Join cap. Save my property. Drop off infantry. Prepare to capture this neutral this property down here. Things are looking pretty good. Infantry, go! I'm lucky I can do this. And I'm really just trying to stop this infantry from capturing my properties. So now we just wait. Do our best to defend this area. Defend my properties. There's a lot of infantry eyeing down my properties. I begin capping. Medium tank walls off the top part. And APC mech walls off the bottom part, so only an urban light could save this property. My copter goes in, uncontested. Second mega tank. Pretty much nothing can kill it, I assume. Nothing can kill it. And I would be defending my properties with the mega tank. An urban light was used to save this property. Copter kills. I could wall off this entirely by having infantry moves up, infantry capture, and anti-air walls the bottom, and this city is pretty much mine. But I don't do that because I'm blind. Kindle starts sacking a lot of stuff to kill my copter, but chooses not to kill it for whatever reason. I mean, if this tank kills it... Oh, other tank can go. Alright, now this capture gets started. And now, it looks like I'm going to lose this property again. I start capturing this. I decide to join cap instead because I want my medium tanks doing other stuff. And for whatever reason, I thought my anti-air being here secures this city. I forgot that this attack was still available. The copter can still head down, and the other copter can also clear it from the other side. So that was a blunder on my end. It's day 28. I should not be making blunders like these. But if we look at the properties, if I lose this property and I fail to take this, it's fine, because look at the income right now. I have way more properties and it's day 28. I attack the medium tank, bringing it down to 1. And yeah, Kindle secures this property. And this is where Kindle made a little bit of a blunder. Medium tank definitely needed to be on this road to wall in my 9 HP infantry. What could be done is artillery moves up here, medium tank moves to road, then artillery on the city moves onto the road. But now my infantry is free to... I guess APC can also go block. But those units were used to block elsewhere, so 1 HP medium tank definitely needed to be on this road to stop me from interrupting this. But even if... It looks like I'm losing this city for sure, but I'm still ahead as long as I either capture one property or deny this property. Now suppose Kindle did wall it off with the medium tank. Then the play would be pop normal power and wall off this lab. Anti-air could sit onto this... Yeah, anti-air could sit onto this forest, 2 medium tanks blocking these 2 planes tile. Because I would be using the normal power, this infantry would reduce the lab's HP to 1. As you can see on the top left, the lab's HP is 11. But after I use normal power and my infantry caps, it will be reduced to 1. And there's nothing Kindle can do to interrupt the property, because tank and copter maybe kills my anti-air, but then there wouldn't really be a follow-up to clear my infantry. And additionally, there's nothing Kindle can do to wall break the medium tanks, because they are medium tanks. This copter could potentially attack from the city, and then this copter attacks from this city. From this plains tile underneath. This copter otherwise cannot reach. This tank could clear this medium tank. Maybe it is a Kindle, probably with Urban Blight striking from a city, followed by 2 other hits. But then there's no follow-up after that to clear this. And then everything else just moves down to wall from the top. But since this city is doomed to fall, I decided not to do any of the walling stuff, and simply just blow stuff up for fun. Hyper repair, because hyper repair. Interrupt this city. Pew! And now, it's the final day. Kindle cannot capture this property because it is the last day, and resigns. And that was this game. A sack for an Urban Blight is possible, and a copter could clear this, but not if I went with my wall strategy instead. But that was this game. Lost a mega tank because of a Kindle High Society on a comm tower. But I otherwise built a second, surely invincible mega tank that is on a road next to a lab. I'm sure my mega tank is invincible because I am Andy. There wasn't really too much stalling, I would say, but there was some, definitely a little bit of stall early on with the advanced walling I did on both fronts. It was only when I spot these breakthroughs where I can reach the artillery that we just started brawling. But after that, it was just brawling for pretty much the rest of the game. But I suppose it was because I felt confident at this point. Because with all these brawls, I mean, I already built up a critical mass of units that I could keep the fighting if I wanted to. Don't know what else to say other than be careful with your walls. I managed to break through several times on the bottom. I believe that was 2 times. The first time was this wall break, and the second wall break was the other artillery. So I guess the thing you can learn from this is be careful with your walls. Your walls are only as strong as your weakest point, and your weakest point is typically the corner, where they can be struck from 2 directions. So typically the corner, where they can be struck from 2 directions. But that was this game. I hope you enjoyed the Andy Mega Tank, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Bye. Bye.